Warning, this video is not for everyone. The laws you're about to discover have been hidden, twisted, or demonized, because those who master them master the game. If you continue watching, be aware. You will never see the world the same way again. Have you ever felt that the world operates under invisible rules? That there's a secret code, a set of laws capable of deciding who wins and who loses? These rules exist. They don't appear in school textbooks. They're not taught in universities, much less discussed openly, but they're there operating in the shadows, from work environments, from your closest friendships, to your most intimate relationships, and any social interaction you have. There are 48 laws. Laws that define power, influence, and success. Robert Greene revealed them to the world. Machiavelli knew them long before, but you may have never heard of them until now. If you ignore them, you'll pay the price of naivety. If you master them, you'll have in your hands a dangerous and irresistible power. From this moment on, you can no longer say you didn't know. If you want to understand the hidden mechanics of power and never be manipulated again, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right now. Join Beyond Sanity, where we decode the strategies that shape reality. Don't just watch, become part of those who truly understand the game. These are the 48 laws of power. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. The powerful don't like to be threatened. Masters don't accept competition. Those at the top don't want to feel their throne shaken. They don't want to perceive shadows larger than their own. They need to believe you're essential, but never more brilliant, because the instant they perceive you can surpass them, your presence stops being valuable and becomes dangerous. Your mission is not to show all your potential quickly. Your mission is to ensure your master feels secure with your talent, never threatened by it. When he's comfortable, you grow. If he feels insecure, you disappear. True wisdom isn't in shining at maximum brightness. It's in knowing exactly how much brilliance to release, to illuminate your path, without ever overshadowing the one who has the power to erase you. Law 2. Don't trust friends too much. Learn to use enemies. Betrayal doesn't come from enemies, it comes from those who embrace you. You think friends always want your success? Think again. Proximity breeds envy. Envy awakens betrayal. The higher you climb, the more fragile your relationships become. Friends can hug you while burying a knife in your back. But enemies need to prove value. They need to show loyalty. They have something to gain, something to prove, something to lose. Never give your trust fully. Friends have the luxury of proximity. They know where you're vulnerable. Enemies, on the other hand, need to earn every step. Use this. Turn your enemies into strategic allies, because they'll never have the privilege of blind trust. In the power game, blind trust is suicide. Trust less, observe more. Remember, friends aren't always loyal. Enemies, when used correctly, are surprisingly reliable. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Whoever reveals their cards before time has already lost the game. We live in the era of total exposure. People talk too much, reveal plans, desires, weaknesses. But those who master power don't show their intentions. Those who play to win don't announce strategies, they just execute, because mystery is your greatest ally. It confuses enemies, disturbs rivals, and keeps you always one step ahead. Never make clear what you want. When your intentions are clear, you become predictable, and power hates predictability. Leave them confused, curious, insecure about your next move. The less they know, the less they can do to stop you. Talking is easy. Anyone can reveal what they think, but only those who master strategic silence can play and win the invisible game of power. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Silence is the language of those who have power. The world is full of talkers, people who need to explain everything, justify everything, show they know. But whoever talks too much reveals too much, exposes thoughts, intentions, weaknesses. The truly powerful man is economical with words. Each of his sentences has weight, each silence even more. When you speak little, people pay more attention. Mystery gives you authority. Control of discourse imposes respect, and above all, you never deliver more than necessary. The strongest voice isn't the loudest, it's the most precise. Speak little, observe much, because power almost always lies in what you choose not to say. Law 5. Much depends on your reputation. Protect it with your life. Your reputation is your invisible armor or your death sentence. Before you enter a room, your reputation has already arrived. Before you open your mouth, they've already created an image of who you are. And this image shapes everything: the respect you receive, the space they offer you, and the type of attack you'll suffer. Build a solid reputation, an image of strength, consistency, self-control. Protect this as if it were your life, because in the power game, that's exactly what it represents. A public slip, a stain, a scandal, and everything you built can turn to dust. Power loves the discreet and respects the impeccable. Never allow them to tarnish your name, because when your reputation falls, you fall with it. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Anonymity is a tomb where the ambitious are buried alive. In this world, being ignored is worse than being hated. Invisibility is the slow death of any project, name, or idea. The eyes of the world turn to those who master the art of standing out. Power isn't born in the dark. It feeds on attention. Who isn't seen isn't remembered. And who isn't remembered doesn't exist. Be provocative. Be striking. Make people talk about you. Think about you. Be bothered by your presence. Reputation is built with strategic presence. Don't hide in the middle of the crowd. Stand out even if it bothers. The world doesn't reward the discreet. It bows before those who learn to dominate the light. Make noise or accept being forgotten. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit in the power game. It's not who works hardest who wins. It's who positions themselves best. While one sweats, others harvest. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards the perception of value. The most powerful men in history rarely did everything alone. They used others' effort and reaped the merits. Learn to delegate, to direct, to extract the best from people around you. Use others' talent as bricks to build your own empire. And when the castle stands, let the name at the entrance be yours. You can spend your entire life working hard, or you can learn to command those who work hard for you. The game isn't about sweat, it's about control. Law 8. Make people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Whoever chases demonstrates weakness. Whoever attracts commands the game. In life's chess, the player who moves first runs more risks. Who acts on impulse reveals strategy. Who waits with patience controls the board. Attracting is always more powerful than pursuing. When you make the other come to you, they've already lost balance. And whoever loses balance loses control. Make yourself desired. Be rare, mysterious, difficult to reach. Use silence as bait, absence as a weapon, and value as exemption. Make the world come to you, begging for your presence. Whoever runs too much seems desperate, and nobody respects the desperate. In the power game, you only win when you make others move first. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through arguments. Explaining too much is a sign of weakness. Prove with results. Words are cheap. Arguments convince for moments. Actions dominate forever. The more you try to convince with logic, the more resistance you find, because people's ego rejects being beaten in a debate. But nobody argues with real victory. Don't waste your energy trying to prove you're right. Show you're right by winning with results, with presence, with attitude. Power doesn't need to be defended. It imposes itself. Want to dominate any room? Speak less, do more, because in the end nobody contests the force of an incontestable result. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Misery is contagious. Whoever walks with bad luck attracts their own ruin. People carry energy. Some elevate you, others sink you silently. There are individuals who are magnets for disgrace, not by bad intention, but by pattern. They're always at the center of chaos, drama, loss, and if you get too close, you'll be pulled with them to the bottom. Select your alliances well. Unhappiness, instability, and negativity are slow poisons. Connect with those who rise, with those who think big. Flee from those who live in the fall. They drag even without meaning to. In the power game, your network defines your ascension. Whoever walks with the unlucky learns to fail. Surrounding yourself with the right ones is strategy. Avoiding the wrong ones is survival. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. True power isn't in dominating, it's in becoming indispensable. You want control? Then become necessary. Make your absence be felt. The man who can be replaced has no power, but the one whose presence is vital, that one will never be discarded. Build your influence around utility. Deliver something nobody else offers. Make them depend on your vision, your knowledge, your presence, because while they need you, you're in command. Don't seek approval. Seek dependence, because in the end, whoever depends, obeys. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm the victim. A good intention at the right time is the perfect trap. Nobody suspects a noble gesture. Generosity disarms, honesty opens doors. But the true strategist doesn't use this out of kindness, uses it out of convenience. He offers a favor to gain control. He exposes a weakness to conquer trust. Because in the power game, the bait needs to look like a gift. Offer something, a compliment, help, a light confession. Make the other lower their guard, and when they're vulnerable, you'll have access to whatever you want. Trust is a door, and sometimes all you need is a key forged in good intentions. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. People don't move mountains out of kindness, they move for benefit. You want something from someone? Then stop appealing to the heart and start talking to the wallet, to the ego, to the ambition. The world is moved by interests, and whoever understands this never humiliates themselves asking for help again. Instead of begging, offer advantage. Instead of waiting for charity, create opportunities. Show what the other gains by helping you. Make it clear they have something to gain. People want to know, and what do I get from this? Give that answer and they follow you. Ignore this and you're talking alone. The key to persuasion isn't appealing to what's right, it's appealing to what's useful. Interest moves the world. Learn to speak that language. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Others' trust is the terrain where the most valuable information flourishes. Eyes can lie, words can deceive, but information reveals the battlefield. Who masters the game doesn't ask. He listens, observes, collects. He approaches as a friend, but inside is a silent spy, absorbing everything he needs. Ask simple questions, act with genuine interest, listen more than you speak. People reveal everything when they think they're being heard and not judged. Use this. The information they give you for free can be the weapon that will put them under your control. True power doesn't come from speaking, it comes from knowing. And the more you know about others, the easier it will be to decide when and how to defeat them. Law 15. Crush the enemy totally. Leave live roots and the enemy will grow again. In the power game, mercy is a breach, and breaches become revenge. If you have an enemy, don't negotiate, don't forgive, don't ignore, eliminate. Because if he has a chance, even minimal, he'll come back, and next time will come stronger and crueler. When facing a real adversary, leave no room for reconstruction. Cut connections. Destroy reputation. Take their ground. Nothing about giving a chance. This is discourse from those who haven't understood the game yet. Mercy in this case is weakness, and weakness attracts predators in life's chess. When you have the chance to give checkmate, don't hesitate. The only victory that truly protects you is the one that destroys the threat by the root. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. The more accessible you are, the less value you have. Constant presence wears out. Value lies in scarcity. What is rare is desired. What's always at hand is ignored. In the power game, knowing when to disappear is as important as knowing when to act. Be seen enough to be remembered, but absent enough to be valued. Your absence creates space for them to talk about you, miss you, idealize your image. Being always present weakens your aura. Disappearing sometimes strengthens your empire. You want respect? Then learn to disappear from time to time, because constant presence generates custom, and custom generates contempt. Law 17. Keep others in a latent state of terror. Cultivate an aura of unpredictability. Nobody fears the predictable, but everyone respects the unpredictable. Predictable people are easy to control because predictability is comfortable and comfort generates carelessness. But the unpredictable generates tension, fear, respect. The man nobody can decipher is the man everyone thinks twice before confronting. Change patterns, break routines, respond in unexpected ways. Never allow others to anticipate your next steps. The doubt you plant in others' minds becomes the control you have over them. Predictability makes you common. Unpredictability makes you dangerous. And in the power game, the dangerous always have advantage. Law 18. Don't build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Solitude weakens. Power feeds on movement and information. Instinct says protect yourself, distance yourself, create barriers. But isolation isn't protection, it's a trap. When you close yourself off, you stop listening, stop seeing, stop feeling what happens around. And in the dark, the attack comes without warning. The fortress that protects you today can be the prison that destroys you tomorrow. Be in the middle of the flow. Hear conversations, perceive moods, feel changes in the air. Power stays alive where there's movement, connections, presence. Locking yourself away is becoming a target without knowing. The king who locks himself in the castle dies without knowing where the arrow came from. Be present, circulate and observe, because information in the end is your best defense. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Don't offend the wrong person. Some enemies forgive, others wait for the right moment to destroy you. In the power game, the most fatal error is underestimating the adversary. You think you're dealing with someone weak, and when you realize you're already poisoned by silent retaliation. Wounded pride is a long-range weapon, and the most dangerous revenge is the one you never see coming. Analyze, listen, observe carefully before provoking anyone. There are people who forget, but there are those who keep everything, and these don't confront, they eliminate. It's not cowardice to choose your battles. It's strategy, because the most difficult war is the one against an enemy who never declares themselves. Law 20. Don't commit to anyone. Neutrality is power. Commitment is a chain. When you choose a side, you inherit that side's enemies. When you commit, you tie yourself down. The true player isn't loyal to causes, he's loyal to the game. He observes, waits, and only moves when the movement is advantageous. Avoid blind alliances. Let them dispute you. The more neutral you seem, the more desired you become. And the more they want you, more control you have in the power game. The strongest man is the one who belongs to nobody, because whoever doesn't commit can never be controlled. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch suckers. Seem dumber than your victim. Underestimating you should be their first mistake. The dangerous man isn't the one who speaks loudly, imposes himself, screams power. It's the one who stays quiet, who listens, who pretends not to understand. Because when you seem harmless, nobody protects themselves. They lower their guard, and that's when the blow enters without resistance. Never reveal your true intellect immediately. Let them think they're one step ahead. When you make yourself less, you control more, because nobody fights the weak, but everyone gets distracted by him. In the power game, feigning ignorance is one of the greatest forms of intelligence. When they underestimate you, they hand you everything without realizing. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power sometimes. Retreating is the only way to win without fighting. The proud fight until they fall. The intelligent surrender to choose when to rise. Not every battle should be won immediately. Sometimes, lowering your head is what allows you to stay alive long enough to cut theirs later. Surrender when necessary. Fake weakness. Give the illusion of victory to the other side. This calms their ego and gives you time, position, and advantage. True power often disguises itself as momentary defeat. Whoever surrenders with strategy returns with control, because only the weak fight all the time. The strong choose when to dominate. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Whoever disperses attention wastes power. The world wants to see you divided. Multitasking, multiple projects, multiple distractions. But the powerful man focuses. He chooses a point and destroys with surgical precision. Spreading force is losing force. Concentration is strategic destruction. Don't waste energy trying to embrace everything. Choose one battlefront and win in it. Greatness isn't in doing 1,000 mediocre things, but in doing one thing undefeatably. The bullet that crosses, the air disperses, is just noise. Here, fired with precision is lethal. Concentrate and the world will have to adjust to you. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Power rarely shouts. It dances in the fine lines of etiquette. The courtier doesn't command, but commands everything. He smiles while manipulating. He compliments while dominating. In the theater of power, he's the main actor, even if he never appears as king, because the true strategist knows subtle influence is worth more than direct orders. Learn to circulate among the powerful without threatening them. Use charm as shield, diplomacy as knife. Act with lightness, but think with coldness, because the courtier is the one who never makes mistakes, only harvests others. You want lasting power? Then master the art of influencing without seeming to command, because whoever controls the room's emotions doesn't need a crown. Law 25. Recreate yourself constantly. The highest form of power is being whoever you want. The world wants to label you, say who you are, where you fit, and what you can achieve. But the powerful man doesn't limit himself to one role. He changes, evolves, disappears, and reappears with new form, new strength. He breaks expectation and rebuilds himself bigger than before. Never stay trapped in one identity. Recreate, reinvent your presence. Become a character in constant construction, because the static is predictable, and the predictable never dominates. You're not obligated to be who you were yesterday. In the power game, whoever controls their own image controls everything. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. True power never seems dirty, even when it is. The true strategist knows how to play dirty without ever seeming dirty. He manipulates without leaving fingerprints, causes chaos, but leaves the scene as if nothing happened. Because in the world of appearances, the most dangerous is the one who seems untouchable. Use intermediaries. Let others do the dirty work. Never be directly associated with error, fall, or pain. Your image must remain impeccable. Even if the game behind is shadowy, the clean reputation is the perfect mask for the dirtiest decisions. In the end, whoever survives is who learned to command without leaving traces. Law 27. Play with people's need to believe to create a cult around you. Human beings need to believe in something. Use this to your favor. People want to be guided, want to follow someone who seems to know more, be more, see further. The world is moved by faith, not by facts. And the man who understands this builds a faithful army without needing weapons. Create symbols. Speak like a prophet. Act like an enlightened leader. Deliver security, meaning, purpose. And while they follow you out of admiration, you move them out of convenience. The cult doesn't need religion, just a strong center. Be that center, because when people believe in you, they do anything for you. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Whoever hesitates bleeds, whoever dares dominates. The world is kind to those who doubt. It swallows the timid, ridicules the cautious, and ignores the indecisive. But whoever enters with force, with presence, with boldness, that one changes the game. Because confidence, even when not real, imposes respect. Never enter something lukewarm. Attack, invade, position yourself as someone who belongs at the top. Even if still climbing, boldness intimidates. It forces others to adapt to your presence. And in the power game, being noticed is already half the victory. You can fail being bold, but you'll be forgotten being neutral. The empire isn't for those who wait, it's for those who advance first. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. Power isn't in movement, it's in anticipation. Most people live in impulse. Decide by heat of moment, by emotion, by now. But whoever dominates sees beyond. He doesn't just think about the next move. He's already visualized checkmate, and that's why he's always where others haven't even thought to arrive. Have the end in mind before taking the first step. Calculate risks, anticipate obstacles, visualize scenarios. Whoever plans to the end isn't caught by surprise. He is the surprise. Improvisation is for survivors. Planning is for conquerors. In the power game, only reaches the top who's already been there mentally. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. If it seems easy, it seems natural. And if it's natural, nobody questions. True power doesn't sound forced. It glides, enchants, impresses. Because when you show effort, you show sweat, doubt, fragility. But when you conquer in silence, with lightness and style, the world believes you were born to win. Never reveal the chaos behind your success. The public doesn't need to see backstage, just the stage. Make it seem you were always in control, even when you were holding on not to fall. This creates respect, mystery, and natural authority. If you want to be feared, respected, or followed, make it seem easy. Because in the end, nobody admires who suffers. They admire who floats over chaos as if not even feeling it. Law 31. Control the options. Make others play with the cards you deal. The illusion of choice is the most effective control. Want to seem generous? Give options. Want to seem fair? Let the other choose. But the true strategist doesn't offer freedom. He offers controlled possibilities. And it doesn't matter what the other chooses, they're already inside your game. Always create scenarios where any result still favors you. Give alternatives, but hide the invisible thread that connects all to your advantage. The secret isn't controlling people, it's controlling the options they think they have. Too much freedom confuses. Directed freedom convinces. In the end, the king is the one who makes others believe they're in command, when in reality, they're just walking on the path he designed. Law 32. Play on people's fantasies. Truth is too hard. Power lies in what people want to believe. People don't want reality. They want comfort. They want magic. They want stories where they're special. The man who offers cold truths loses followers, but the one who feeds fantasies builds devotion. Because in the end, everyone wants to escape. And whoever offers escape conquers heart and mind. Discover people's hidden desires, what they miss, what they dream, and then don't deliver the world as it is. Deliver the world as they wish it were, and make it seem only you can guide them there. Truth convinces, but fantasy captivates. In the power game, whoever dominates desires governs realities. Law 33. Discover each person's weak point. Every man has a crack in the armor. The secret is knowing where to aim. Nobody is impenetrable. Everyone has a breach, an insecurity, a trauma, a vanity, a vice. The man who dominates others is the one who observes them in silence. Because once you discover the weak point, you no longer need to use force, just pressure in the right place and the castle collapses. Pay attention to what irritates, what enchants, what paralyzes. Analyze, test, observe reactions. Every human being reveals their weaknesses. You just need to be attentive, and with that information, you have power over them without them noticing. It's not force that dominates, it's knowledge. In the end, wins not who imposes, but who sees first where the other is exposed. Law 34. Be regal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. The world treats you the way you present yourself. Posture precedes respect. Before you speak, they're already judging you, already decided your value. And if you act small, you'll be treated small. But if you carry a king's presence, the world bows, even without knowing why. Care for the way you walk, speak, look. Demand respect without asking. Show value without explaining. Act with security even in doubt. Because authority isn't what you have, it's what you transmit. Real power begins in the mind. The rest of the world just follows what you project. Act like a king, and the servants appear alone. Law 35. Master the art of timing. The impatient hurries and falls. The strategist waits and harvests. Time isn't enemy, it's tool. Whoever knows how to wait, dominates. Whoever acts at the wrong time begs for defeat. True player doesn't hurry, doesn't react on impulse. He observes until the exact moment when one movement is worth 10. Control the rhythm. Delay when necessary. Accelerate when precise. Never reveal your haste. It weakens you. Use time to wear down the enemy, to amplify your image, to plant doubts. Silence, pause, waiting are weapons. Victory belongs to whoever isn't in a hurry to win, because in the power game, Whoever dominates time dominates others' destiny. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Contempt is the most powerful response. Responding gives importance. Ignoring is dominating without effort. Not everything deserves your energy. Sometimes the most efficient attack is simply not reacting. When you respond, you validate. When you ignore, you diminish. Disdain is the weapon of those who don't need to prove anything. It corrodes the other's ego in silence, while you remain intact. If something or someone seeks to provoke you, ask yourself, is this worthy of my response? Power lies in choosing where to spend your presence. And when you deny even your attention, the other withers before their own insignificance. It's not about being better, it's about being unreachable. Because sometimes the strongest response is the cold silence of those who don't need to descend there. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. People don't follow ideas. They follow who knows how to enchant. The world is moved by images, symbols, gestures. Reason tires, but spectacle hypnotizes. The man who dominates the gaze of masses dominates the masses themselves. He creates moments. He builds aura. He transforms presence into legend. Use symbols, aesthetics, narrative. Make what you say a ritual. Attract through beauty, through force, through strangeness, but never through mediocrity. Spectacle isn't vanity, it's a tool of mental domination. The world doesn't remember the common, it records what impresses. And in the power game, whoever enchants commands. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Being too different scares. The wise camouflages among the common. Genius awakens admiration, but also envy. Truth confronts, lucidity bothers. Showing you see what others don't can transform you into a target. The true strategist thinks high, but acts as if one of many. He hides the blade behind the smile. Master your thoughts, but adapt your gestures. Dress according to environment. Speak as they speak. Act as they expect. Because whoever seems too different becomes the threat before becoming leader. The mind that sees beyond must learn to disguise itself, because in the power game, the first to be burned is always the one carrying the torch. Law 39. Stir the waters to catch the fish. The calm mind is strategic. The irritated mind is predictable. Real control isn't in dominating by force, but in making the other unbalance alone. Anger is a prison. Reaction is a confession. Agitate others' emotions. Mess with ego, with fear, with vanity. While they react, you choose how and when to attack. Create uncomfortable situations. Launch subtle provocations. Observe where the other loses themselves, where they lose tone. Uncontrolled emotion is always the door through which power escapes. In power's chess, the master doesn't move in haste. He disturbs the opponent until he moves badly. Stir the environment and watch the fish rise ready to be caught. Law 40. Despise what comes for free. What's given without cost comes with an invisible thread attached. Power doesn't feed on handouts. What comes free often carries debt, manipulation, trap. The powerful man pays the price. He chooses, conquers, takes, but never begs and never accepts, hand-kissed. Because what's free almost always charges dearly later. Refusing gifts, favors, or strategic help shows you're self-sufficient. Paying the price, even when you don't need to, positions you above bargaining. Value lies in remaining independent, and that scares more than any apparent wealth. Accepting everything is sign of weakness. Refusing with class is sign of dominance. In the power game, what you say no defines much more than the yeses you collect. Law 41. Avoid following in a great man's footsteps. Create your own path. Whoever lives on others' legacy will never be remembered by their own name. Following a giant's footsteps may seem safe, but deep down, it's a prison. The bigger the name that came before you, the harder it will be to build yours. You'll be compared, reduced, forgotten. The true strategist honors the past, but breaks with it. He builds something new, even if he has to burn the bridge behind him. Distance yourself from the shadow of mentors, bosses, parents, or idols. If you want to be respected as a unique name, you need to break the lineage and create own territory. Respect isn't in repeating others' glory, but in risking everything to build yours. The world reveres those who dare to start from zero, because in the power game only survives who has courage to leave the shadow and become sun. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Lead or eliminate who leads. The rest bends alone. In every resistance there's a voice. In every group, a thinking head. You can waste time trying to control the mass, or you can go straight to the source. Cut the central link, and the rest crumbles by itself. Power doesn't wear itself out with explanations. It aims where it really matters. Identify who influences, who agitates, who inspires rebellion. Attack that figure. It can be with contempt, exposure, isolation, or direct elimination. Because without leadership, even the boldest become silent. The secret isn't silencing everyone. It's silencing who others listen to. In the power game, bring down the shepherd and the flock dissolves. Law 43. Work on hearts and minds of others. Imposed force is unstable. Emotional loyalty is unbreakable. You can control the body, but if you don't dominate the mind, the body escapes at first chance. True power doesn't impose itself. It conquers. It enters slowly, without fanfare, and settles where nobody touches, in the heart. Because whoever dominates feelings commands destinies. Know what people love, fear, dream. Give emotional security. Give meaning, purpose. Gain respect with presence, loyalty with listening. The mind follows who understands its pain, and the heart obeys who offers relief. The throne that rises by force falls with time, but the empire built in the soul, that nobody brings down. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. The most silent weapon is making the other face their own weakness. Want to destabilize someone? Don't attack, just reflect. Imitate the tone, gestures, ideas. Show the other who they really are, without filters, without masks. And then observe. Most go mad before their own reflection, because facing oneself is the confrontation few endure. Use the mirror as tactic. If someone is aggressive, respond with the same coldness. If someone tries to manipulate you, show their intentions subtly reflected. This technique doesn't attack, it reveals, and revealing is more dangerous than any direct blow. In the power game, the mirror is weapon, because making the other see themselves is the same as leaving them naked before their own ego. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. The people ask for change, but fear chaos. People say they want revolution, but what do they really want? Faith, stability with a new name. Change enough to seem new, but keep foundations intact, because if you break everything, fear takes over. And whoever awakens, fear loses control. Speak of renewal, of future, of evolution, but never openly attack what's already rooted. Preserve symbols, appearances, and traditions, even if behind everything changes. The illusion of continuity maintains order, while you move the pieces in silence. Too revolutionary are burned. Discreet reformers govern for decades. In the power game, the secret is changing everything, without seeming to have changed anything. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Absolute excellence attracts admiration and hatred. You believe being perfect protects you? Wrong. The higher you shine, the more eyes you attract, and with them comes poison. Envy doesn't attack the weak, it destroys what seems unreachable. The wise never shows perfection. He lets slip a flaw here, a doubt there, just enough to seem human. Overshadowing too much provokes resentment. Give space for others to feel they still have some superiority. Don't show yourself invincible. Show yourself useful, and never awaken the type of admiration that comes accompanied by desire for fall. Don't provoke envy by being the best. Be the most strategic, because in the power game, whoever seems too perfect ends up alone at the top, surrounded by invisible knives. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for in victory. Learn when to stop. The victory intoxicates, and whoever doesn't stop stumbles on their own excess. The most dangerous moment isn't defeat, it's the peak of victory. It's when you feel invincible, unbeatable, untouchable, that you start digging your own fall. The experienced player doesn't seek more. He knows when to stop, retreat, consolidate, because excess doesn't impress. It destroys. When winning, control the ego. Don't humiliate, don't prolong, don't show off beyond measure. The perfect victory is the one that ends before the world wants your fall. Know the limit and stop at the highest point. The most stable empire is the one that didn't need to grow too much. In the power game, the true master isn't the one who conquers everything. It's the one who knows exactly when to say enough. Law 48. Assume formlessness. Adapt like water. Take the form that's necessary. Rigid breaks. The flexible dominates in silence. The previous laws taught you to act, to manipulate, to win. But this one teaches you to survive. Because in the power game, there's no fixed form, only context. The man who clings to one identity, to one method, to one pattern, becomes predictable. And predictability is weakness. The one who changes, who escapes, who transforms, that one nobody captures, that one nobody defeats. Don't be the same person in all scenarios. Be shadow, be fire, be wind, depending on what the field requires. Today you dominate with silence, tomorrow with presence, today with kindness, tomorrow with imposition. Never limit yourself to one way of winning. You just crossed a minefield of strategies, manipulation, silence, and control. And now tell me in the comments which of these laws impacted you most. Which one already changed your vision about the world? These aren't rules of coexistence, they're weapons. Each law you learned here is a piece of the arsenal of those who refuse to be just another one. But attention, real power isn't in memorizing these laws, it's in absorbing them, understanding the right moment to apply, knowing when to bend, when to retreat, when to crush. And that's why this video isn't meant to be watched once. It's a manual, a map, a mirror. Come back always, rewatch, study. Leave in the comments if you'd like more videos explaining in depth the laws of power. Because in the real world, whoever forgets the laws of power returns to being governed by them. If you made it this far, you're already different from most. You're no longer the person who started watching this video. The game has changed, and now you see the invisible rules. Don't let this knowledge sleep. Use it, refine it, become dangerous in the best possible way. Subscribe to Beyond Sanity, hit the bell, and join those who refuse to play blind. The world is a chessboard, and now you know the moves. Make them count.